Alright, this is Steve DiGiorgio, bass player of Testament. I want to say what's up to all the fans of altersofmetal.com. That all.
Alright, Tony, let's go. So, quickly. Alright.
So where were you born? What's your favorite color? How tall are you? What's your favorite... Not that quickly.
What's your favorite food? Favorite color? So,
The favorite color of your food?
what's your favorite Testament song? And why?
Huh. I don't know. Favorite? Yes. Favorite Testament song? I don't know.
And album.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Album?
I'm gonna say the new one, not just because it's time to say it, but I think I like it better than The Gathering, which is the one I played on.
I would expect The Gathering to be almost, if not in the first position, at least in the second. Am I right?
It's definitely second.
Yeah.
Definitely second. But I also really, really like everything they've done recently. Dark Roots has a lot of good songs. Formation has a lot of good songs. Demonic, really cool stuff. And even Low has a couple of cool songs. And basically that's where my interest in the band starts. And the guys totally know
That's the
it.
season when everything, the character of the band kind of changed.
Big time.
From the traditional old school thrash.
Everyone in the band knows it, so it's not some secret, but I wasn't really into their older stuff. I had already found, being in Sadist, we were influenced by a little bit more brutal.
Yeah.
And Testament wasn't my thing. Now, the respect was there. I mean, they were, especially in those days, they were this close to Metallica's heels.
Yeah, true.
Obviously, Metallica hit hyperspeed and took off, but in a certain point, they were huge. So I had respect for them.
And the same goes for Metallica. I mean, with Kill 'Em All and all the old days. I mean, if you compare everything, it's similar, isn't it, with the earlier Testament?
Sure, but Metallica was also. I mean, even we could say we helped create a genre, but Metallica was at it so far in advance. They really. I mean, they came in with something brand new. They credit Motorhead and Venom, but if you really watch Motorhead and Venom from the early 80s, Metallica was fucking totally new. But anyway,
with these albums with Testament, I mean, it was the era when Testament actually became, that heavier, really heavy sound that with a lot of volume.
When you look at the old albums, as they're progressing, they're getting better at songwriters, they're getting better at production, and it was going almost to where everyone was going in the 90s, they were thinking radio, MTV.
Yeah.
And they were writing more kind of catchy ballad stuff, and then the scene dropped out from everybody. And so a lot of bands either disappeared or reinvented themselves, and that's where it came from. And they obviously Low was a little different, Demonic was way different, but it felt like they were trying things, and The Gathering was just as much as an experiment.
Demonic
but it seems
was
like
quite experimental.
Completely experimental, and The Gathering was too, but it felt like The Gathering was the right combination.
Was the big boom.
Because once that hit, they've kept that formula and have only gotten better and better and better, which leads back to the answer. I think that's why my favorite is the new one. Not just because it's new. I think it has that storyline behind it to make it a really killer album. And also, being part of the band, two of the guys are in their 50s, mid-50s. And they're fucking belting it out with a lot of energy, man.
Still young.
And me and Gene are right there. Right there. Next year, we're going to be 50.
Well, numbers are for numbers, as we say here in Greece.
True.
It's just a matter of
But when
perception.
you're 19 years old listening to albums, and if you're going to listen to an album made by 50-year-olds,
Yeah.
are you going to really feel that way about it? I mean, so now that we're here doing it, and we look out in the crowd, and we have gray hair fans, we have 16-year-old fans, we have the whole thing. That in itself makes that album powerful enough because of the longevity of the whole storyline that took us there. So I like it. I mean, it's fun. It's fresh. The Gathering, I was also part of it, and I was behind the scenes, and I don't want to disparage anything about it, but part of the the struggle that made it cool, I wish wasn't a struggle. I wish we had a better situation. You know, like a modern studio. We had really not the best stuff. And maybe I gave it its character, and that's fine, but
It worked out, didn't it?
it worked out. We toured for years playing those songs. All the way up until they did the reunion.
Right.
Yeah.
Weird question. Do you believe in afterlife? After death to all comes upon us, what's next?
A little pun in there, isn't it?
Yep, intended.
Well, there's clearly a life for Chuck's music, which we call Death to All. But no, what's funny is nobody in the band, not one of the musicians thought of that name. It came from a guy who runs a magazine, webzine called Sick Drummer. He thought of it. He thought of the whole project, really. It came from Gene and Sean doing clinics, and everybody wants those guys to play death songs. And so they trying to get these recordings that they could play along to, and the guy at Sick Drummer just said, what if we called up the other members and you guys, instead of a drummer playing to the tracks of it, he goes, why don't you just all play it live? And to not infringe or to insinuate to everybody that we're trying to bring back Death without Chuck, let's think of a name that has the word death in it, but with a new title, Death to All. So we took that idea, and it was a success, and then we really took that idea pretty much from him and just kept going.
Yeah. He must be feeling proud. Yeah, cool.
But was it a musical question?
It wasn't a musical question, that was what I was going to say. I mean, philosophically, belief kind of thing, do you think, I'm just getting away from the musical lines, I'm just asking, do you think there's something after death? Whatever it is.
I have no problem saying I don't know. I
Sounds
don't know. I really
agnostic.
don't. Whatever.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I've heard a million opinions on it.
Yeah.
And a big inspiration was one of my uncles from Italy. And he just said, Stevie, do you remember before you're born? And I said, no. And he goes, it's like that when you die. You don't remember. He goes, you're born, you die, in the middle, what are you gonna do? And so, agnostic, whatever you want to call it, that's my personal philosophy right there. You're born, you're dying, and in the middle, what are you gonna do? So
sounds quite Italian to me.
Well, because poor Uncle Al, he lived a long time, late 80s. There's a discrepancy on what his actual age was. We could say 86, 88, I don't know. But because he lived so long, he had to bring more and more flowers every few years to the cemetery. And I'd go there with him, and there's grandma, there's grandpa, there's my dad, there's other uncle, there's just all our families there. And I just said, you come here every Sunday, Uncle Al. What? And he just, what are you gonna do? And I'm just like, I like that. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna put? Like I said about the state of the world, you were just worrying about it, make it better. I don't care.
What part of Italy does your family come from?
Specifically, it's close to a city called Cassino.
Okay, Casino.
Cassino.
Looks like you're a gambler.
It's a double S. It's in the area of Frosinone, which is in the province of Lazio. That includes Rome.
Okay, right.
So the middle.
Okay.
Middle, not northern, not down in the south. Like
you're a spaghetti guy. Okay. All right.
Braciola.
Huh?
Braciola.
Braciola.
Yeah, spaghetti is good, but the braciola in Valtino. That's
Scusami, io parlo italiano. Io sono greco.
Okay.
All right. So. I've asked you that question, present state of the world, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and I think this question should be normally for a hypocrisy interview, not for a testament interview, but hey.
Hypocrisy?
Yeah. Have you ever been into subjects like alien life, different dimensions, parallel universes, astrophysics, etc.?
Chuck and Eric are really into that stuff.
Mm.
There's a lot of TV shows that cater to those kind of things. I've always approached things in a very scientific, logical way of looking at things. I'm not into these peripheral science ideas so much, because to me, the mysterious isn't that big of a deal. You know, some people really thrive on it. Like, there's a lot of people that say, like, what if? But what if? And I'm like, yeah, what if? But what I like is what is. You know, show me something that you've been looking at. Teach me about it. You know, so I'm a little bit more centered into the real science, the real cosmos, the real molecular anything. You know,
Are you
but
following like any scientists or something like that? That's
quite a
possible.
few. It's kind of a nerdy admission.
Name them.
Oh. Brian Cox, Phil Plait, Michelle Thaler, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Michio Kaku.
Michio
Michio
Kaku, of
Yeah.
course. He's playing up his kind of celebrity status. He likes to put on his commercial face, but his background is he's a brainiac. Like Bill Nye was always like the fun science. He made it gentle and inspiring for people to not be scared of science. But then he got out of that, and now he's really into the serious science. So everyone hears the word Bill Nye and like, oh, that's that funny guy from TV. And if you look at what he's saying now, it's not so fucking funny. He's really into stuff. You know, and a lot of planetary science. Even though Jeff Marcy was just excused from University of Cal Berkeley, he was one of the first exoplanet discoverers. He has a really good technique for studying the stars and actually discovering planets going around them. And I could probably go on and on, but just a list of names. But I'm into it's kind of like, I don't know, would it be fair to say real science? I guess the real stuff, the stuff that's there, that's studied, that's proven, that's agreed on in the scientific community. But the peripheral stuff, what do they call it? It's like paramilitary, not paranormal. Is it paranormal?
Paranormal.
That's the like ancient civilizations, like or alien races or ghosts, anything like that. It's
or whatever it's translated into, like parallel universes or.
The theories are interesting, sure, but I don't buy into them because they're theories. They're but I said they're interesting. I mean, the membrane theory of parallel universes was hot. So just a couple years ago, now nobody talks about it anymore. It's like string theory. It's like we thought string theory was the answer to everything, and now it's like, now we thought about 50 other things. It's like, Edwin Hubble saw that everything's moving away from each other in space. It's not moving together. It's like when you blow up a balloon, everything is moving away.
Expanding.
Yeah, he was the one that said, okay, the universe appears to be expanding. So you look out there, you see this piece of light, you see this other piece of light, and these two pieces of light are moving away from each other. And that was the theory for so many years. And now someone says, we're only looking at the light and the light. Do you know that there's something really dark in between them that are pushing them? So now dark energy is this new hot theory. The dark matter, dark energy is the movement of it. And it's cool, and it's interesting to think, like, wow, no shit. Our eyes are only allowed to see what we see on the surface of the Earth to help us survive. Of course, we can't see these crazy forces at work, so it makes sense. Maybe dark energy. But as soon as they find some new gravitational fucking trip, dark energy is going to go back on the shelf, and So theories are cool, but the ones that stick around that last longer seem to be the ones that are more agreed upon in the scientific community. So. I know, it's fucking nerd talk, right?
Yeah, we're getting deep into it.
Yeah. So fuck it, we just drink booze and say, whatever, man, it's party!
Mine is
Well, you can't have any more because it's a tripod.
In a bit. All right. Okay. Any use? I asked you personally before, but I'm not going to ask you in front of the camera. Any use from Sadus, from the camp of Sadus? What's the situation?
Very easy answer. 0.
0 at the moment.
Well, like I said, because there's no news to speak about musically doesn't mean it's bad news. We will, no matter what those fuckers say, we'll be friends for life. We do keep in contact now, of course.
You're a band forever.
We're a band whether we're making music or not. Exactly. I mean, if I didn't play in Sadus, I wouldn't have been found by the guy from Death. And if the guy from Death didn't bring me in his band, I wouldn't have been found by everybody else. So Sadus is not only my brothers, but it's the fucking seed that popped me into the world. And it will always be part of me. It will be part of us for our whole life. It's something we made in high school as little punk kids in school. But it seems that Sadus is really, really good at taking breaks. We put out 3 albums in 2 years of sessions, 88, 90, 92. And then from there, we went on this amazing 5-year break, right? 92 to 97 was like, oh my God, this 5-year break's incredible. There were a lot of changes in the band. We went from a 4-piece to a 3-piece. But we thought 5 years, we'll never let that happen again. Well, that album that came out in 97, we didn't see the next one until 2006. Now, we were done in 2005. To us, it's a 2005 album, but the release date is 2006. There's a 9-year gap there. And that was after a 5-year gap. And during that time, we didn't feel the time going by.
Yeah.
So
it's like
it's unintentional.
The band was always a band, was never disbanded. I mean, it's like a family going on. Whenever there's something, there's something.
That's what's great about King Louie. It's like we would be sitting around the pool with a drink, listening to music, and he would go, "Hey guys, when are we gonna start making some noise?" We're like, "Oh yeah, that's right."
King Louie was a roadie. I mean, I remember
King Louie was everything. He wasn't a roadie. He's always been our guru. He's been our leader. You could call him a manager.
Personally, I only met him as a manager, roadie. I don't know, in 2016.
Well, roadie, a guy who goes on the road with a band, sure, but I mean, without him,
he's one of those people hiding behind the scenes but doing everything, right?
It's like the part of the ship below the waterline. You don't see it, but if you don't have it, that ship's going straight down to the bottom. And so, yeah, everyone sees the band Sadus, but believe me, ever since January of '86, easily, maybe before, but that's the first official recording we did. Not the DTP demo, something else we did. He made that recording he had the best stereo, and he made that recording. And since then, without him, we wouldn't have done 10% of what we did with what we had. So he was always the guy, we always called him the glue. Or you could say the mortar. He held everything together.
Stick together, everybody. Yeah.
And so he's been bugging me lately. He says the other 2 guys have been working on songs, but I mean, I'm coming off 3 straight years of barely even having a month at a time at my own house, and I saw the schedule for the upcoming calendar for what's next year, 2017. Unbelievable. This band is non-stop. So I don't know. I don't have really time for hardly anything. Which, on one hand, is good news, and on the other hand, what are you gonna do?
Any news from?
Yo, you guys here?
Yeah, we're doing an interview.
Oh,
Yeah. See you.
Yeah, buzz off. Who the fuck are you with? Oh, that's our tour manager, Jim.
Get out of here. All right. Any news from DTA?
Actually, this moment, not really. It's by design. We covered so much territory the last couple of years that we felt as a band that if we're going to do anything else, that we needed to give it space. Because without any new product, without any new... I mean, we're playing songs that are ranging in the 20-year area. And if we're just going to go out and keep playing these this batch of songs, even if we change the set, it's still the same albums. We have nothing new. We want to make sure that the integrity is still there, that it's fresh in some regard. So with not only two of the band members in Testament, but we share a crew. A lot of the guys work with both bands too. We knew that Testament was coming up on a busy year with a new record, so we said this is a good time. DTA, we covered Europe quite a few times, covered US quite a few times, in South America. We played a lot. We spread that band and showed what it was about, and we said, okay, now we'll just give it some time, and if people are into it, the offers will build and the interest will build, and if they're not, they will know. Because it's a unique situation where usually a band has a product to sell, their whole image and everything, so they reach out and look for tours. Where DTA, the offers just come in because it's the situation where the fans ask for it. Yeah, we want to watch it. We want to hear this band. And if there's no interest, we're not reaching out for shows because it's not like a real band. It's just a really glorified cover band. So there's always offers. There's, sometimes they don't meet the criteria that we need to make it happen. But when those offers do come in, then I think the guys will be ready to come back. We'll go do, because we have a lot of fun doing it. It's one of the funnest projects I've ever done. Because the boss is gone, so the kids are playing. But it's not just taking liberty on somebody else's music. I mean, we help make the music. You got guys that were part of it in the old days, so we're not fucking it up because we're representing ourselves as well as Chuck.
You're honoring the memory.
Yeah. So because of that, there's a very serious approach. But once we've hit that level, then it becomes absolutely fun. It's because
it's also beautiful. I mean,
yeah,
the whole thing just honoring the remembrance.
Yeah, I mean, 40-year-old guys playing stuff that 20-year-old young men played. It's not that easy to do.
Yeah.
But when we reach that level, like, okay, we got this, then it's just fun. Then we throw in surprise covers, we make jokes on stage, and it's nobody's band really. It's just our thing.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I hope we do it. I really do. But like I said, it depends on the fans. It depends on the demand. If the demand is there, we're very happy to go play. But if there's no demand, we're just as happy not doing it because it's not a real thing. We don't sell one product. We don't sell anything. Now I know you're gonna say, but I saw a T-shirt, or somebody will say, I saw T-shirts.
Yeah, right.
But the T-shirts are not associated with the band members at all. Not that there's anything wrong with selling shirts, but to be technical, the shirts were part of the management because the whole idea of the band came from the reissuing of the CDs. They're re-releasing the CDs with bonus tracks, more pictures, and because of that, merchandise is made to go along with these CDs. So when we go play, they use that opportunity to sell the reissued stuff. But it's two separate businesses. We're on stage playing music, and then we go. Whatever is being sold at the table, we don't know. That's part of the executive.
Besides, it's a nice thing for all the fans.
It's completely voluntary. You're not forced to buy a shirt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Last question.
Fucking finally, man.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking too much. Finally, I can go home. All right. So we're just a few, I think, more or less like an hour before you guys hit the stage here in Thessaloniki, North Greece. You had Athens last night. You've been on a tour. So it's pretty much, it's the final show, isn't it, of the tour tonight. You're going back home tomorrow, and the next thing is in February, the 70,000 tons of metal or something, if I remember correctly.
Exactly. Good
So,
research.
what are the recollections from the whole tour? Was it nice? How do you feel?
It was an awesome tour. It was a great tour. We supported Amon Amarth, and they are kicking ass. They're a big band.
They're becoming really huge.
Oh, they are really.
I personally, I remember receiving their promo CD back in '99. I think the Golden Gates, no, something like from the Golden Hall. I forgot, but never mind that, everybody. Sorry. 1 cent from the Golden Hall, yeah, and yeah. I mean, you guys now support them, and they're becoming a big thing. But anyway, the whole recollections and everything from the tour. Did you guys have fun? Did you enjoy it?
It was awesome. They're a huge band. They play really big venues. A lot of people coming. It's a great chance for Testament to play for not only a lot of fans, but a lot of fans that might not even know. And with a brand new album, perfect. Because after this, when we come back, we'll be doing all headlining with our own production. I've seen the drawings and the mock-ups, and we have an amazing look coming. I mean, we have some killer. We're really putting a lot into the show. We don't have, even supporting them on, we had a nice production on stage, but we couldn't bring any of it for these 2 quick shows. So we're just a band with amps and drums tonight, which is still cool, but the show, putting on a show is really cool. The fans really appreciate it. And Amon Amarth does it. I mean, they're like the next Iron Maiden. Their stage setups are amazing. And so it was cool. It was a big tour, big venues, lots of fans, and moreover, the band was very respectful, treated us great. The management, they treated us awesome. It's true we were a support band, but clearly they were, I want to call them young, looking up to the old, but they were very close to our age anyway. But like I said, in 2003, the tour that fell through, they were, way down on the bill of this tour, first time in USA, and now we're supporting them. It just shows how hard they've worked, built up to where they are. And we supported Slayer in the United States and Canada earlier this year, and support doesn't mean lowering anything. It just means you get to get off stage and listen to a kick-ass band. So it was cool. It worked out great. I think it was a success. I mean, we played in front of a lot of people, and now we're ready to go home. And as I said, from here on out, we're going back to headlining. Just selling our own show. So, but yeah, it's gonna be nice. Have all of December off. Finally, we've been going nonstop all year, even the year before. They're all connecting in one line. So, home with the family and the chickens and dogs and horses.
Some turkeys.
No, I don't have any turkeys, but there's wild turkeys.
Thanksgiving is gone already.
Oh, dead turkey? No, we don't do that. I mean, we eat meat, but I'm not into the
food-wise.
Food, yeah, we love to eat good big feasts and stuff. But no.
All right, then just close the interview with a message to the Greek fans.
Greek fans. Oh fuck. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, we love Greece, man. I told you. We love the culture and the whole climate, the environment, and a lot of that produces great people. I mean, it's always been a strong metal country for sure. It's a little bit out of the way from like a lot of European tours, so we don't come down here all the time. So when we do, it's really special. Our show in Athens last night was fucking off the hook, crazy, and we're expecting a good go here in Thessaloniki, and hopefully we don't have to wait so long for the next time we come back, because the fan support here is great, and you got to go where the fans are. You got to go where your support is. But we love it here, and we love how do you say it?
Raki.
We love this shit. Uzo. We love this. We discovered a new fried cheese called Saganaki.
Saganaki. Hey.
Saganaki.
I love Saganaki.
Wow, that was really good. I mean, you don't need too much of it, but the flavor of it's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, as long as it's hot.
Yeah, hot. Oh,
don't wait too long.
No. Also, Flavino on that one, and tzatziki and all that stuff. It's been a few No, the easy ones. Yeah, Ali. Cheers, Greek fans. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the interview and the time.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you
brother.
very much.
Signing off with Rocky.
Thank you.
That's all you can once.